Start recording? Oh, we're live. Okay. Took us so long to get that started.
All
Wow.
right, we good? We good to
We,
go?
I believe we are
All
good.
right, all right,
Uh,
nice. All right, we're good to go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fellows Podcast. I'm joined by my co host, Dylan.
Hey, everyone, great to be here. Great to be here. I'm being paid nothing for this, so I don't know if this is unpaid labor or this is just doing something out of courtesy, but either way, I hope I get paid back for it.
Maybe. Possibly. Yes. I'm your host, Kennedy. Welcome to the Fellows Podcast, where the bottom line is at the front door. I tell you that much. So, we're going to get started with our power rankings. Normally, we would have a list from 32 to 1, but we couldn't find one, so we just made our own because we're that cool. So, to start off, we're going to start off with the tanking teams. Okay? These teams are the worst teams in the NFL as of right now. Now, Dylan, who do you think belongs in this category?
I feel like when we make this list, we're gonna probably backtrack after a while. Like if we accidentally rate the Rams higher than the Browns, then we're probably gonna have to backtrack. But for right now, let's go with easy pickings.
Yes, easy pickings.
New York Giants. I mean,
Yeah. Are they? Yeah,
those.
they're at the very worst.
I mean, we're close to being able to say, maybe the Lions are going to have to retire the phrase "same old Lions," and we're going to have to give that phrase to the
To the
New York Giants.
Giants. Yep, the
At this point,
same old Giants.
it just feels like same old Giants. This has been what, like a 10-year rebuild. When does this rebuild start? Like the moment Eli Manning signed that extension. So no, this is like a 10-year, 12-year rebuild
Exactly,
since that
exactly.
last Super Bowl.
Right. Uh,
What do you think about the Giants right now?
the Giants are just trash, dude. They're utter garbage. I feel bad for Brian Dable that he has to even suffer through this. He's probably gonna get fired after this year. I'm gonna be honest. Um, yeah, and they're in a division with the Eagles and the Cowboys, and the Commanders aren't even that bad.
All right,
So
so let's be fair real quick. We should at least pull up the injury report. The other thing we're gonna have to be totally honest here. There are some teams that have been really bad because of injuries, and there have been some teams that have just been really bad.
that is 100% true.
I mean, with the Giants, we can go ahead and there's been injuries, there's been bad development. We can say that missing Andrew Thomas is a problem. Definitely a problem when you don't have
Right.
your left
100%.
tackle playing, especially when you go against the Commanders, the Eagles, and the Cowboys. Probably the last teams you don't want to have a starting left tackle against.
Exactly. Especially against like those defenses, man. They're so not I wouldn't say yeah, they're aggressive. They're very aggressive defenses.
So there is good news for the Giants. At at the very least, I'll hold the positive that Dexter Lawrence he is him.
Right. Absolutely. I agree with you.
He's been playing out of his mind this year. I don't think it's going to be enough to carry them to wins, but
Absolutely not. No. It's on both sides of the ball that they're just absolutely terrible.
we go to PFF right now. We see Dexter Lawrence. He's ranked as the highest rated player of interior defenders, right above Jalen Carter and Quentin Williams.
Right.
Similar story as last year. I mean, for a nose tackle to get penetration like that up the middle is just unheard of.
Bro, my camera is so bad. I'm moving through the matrix like freaking Look at this. This is funny.
Freaking film grain all over it.
Dude, that's trash. I might have to get a new camera. Um,
Ugh.
Up next, I feel like this team. Well, they don't deserve it, but it's the Panthers.
And that's close. I mean, who do you say is the worst team in the NFL?
I think the Panthers are playing better ball than the Giants. Definitely better
Yeah,
ball.
I mean, it's ugly all around. The O line doesn't look great. The skill position players don't look great.
Right.
Wide receiver is very obviously a problem. If you have Adam Thielen in fantasy, they've got no issues at wide receiver. But if you're a Panthers fan,
They're
they have a gaping hole at wide receiver.
yeah.
On the defense, I mean, defense has been solid. Development from J.C. Horn's been nice
Yeah,
to see.
I have seen like their defense has been pretty solid all year round. Aren't they like top 5 in defensive cornerbacks?
Let's see,
Or
we've got.
they're in that top range.
I mean, they're not in the bottom. They're not below the bottom 20. They're not in the bottom 20. No, they're not in the bottom 10. They're not a bottom 10 defense. It's a defense that's being carried a lot by. Oh, jeez. I forgot the name of their nose tackle. They drafted him in the first round, top 10 pick a few years back. He's been
Oh,
solid to them.
yeah.
Burns has been solid. What else? Horn, I mentioned before, he's been solid. A lot of good players, but when you take those guys away, there's not much left behind.
Right.
If we go to ESPN, we look at team stat leaders. Uh, they're not in the top 5 of anything, but their defense is. Can I count here? They do have a top 10 defense based on yards per game allowed.
Right.
And if we go to points allowed, it's probably going to be a lot worse. Yeah, they have a bottom 10 defense when it comes to point allowed, but you can attribute that partially to a lot of turnovers and a very bad turnover differential.
Yeah.
Let me cite myself on that. Um, where are they in the turnover differential? Yeah, okay, yeah, -4 turnover differential. It's not the worst in the league, but it doesn't help. It might just be a lot of 3 and outs with them.
That is the problem. They're not getting down the field. Their longest pass play, I think it's like 40 yards.
We pull up, let's see, what do we sack leaders by team, bottom 5 in the NFL. If you take Brian Burns away, I think they have 19 sacks as a team. If we take Brian Burns away, I wonder what that turns into.
Right. All right, let's move on. I think there's maybe 2 more teams that fit into this category, and that's obviously the Bears and the Packers.
Bold move on the Packers one, but let's start with the Bears. Let's start with the Bears.
Should the Packers be higher than the Bears?
The Packers we can debate, but like let's start with the Bears because the Bears are they're interesting.
They're a
A
very
lot of
frustrating team to me.
yeah, a lot of money spent in the offseason. 2 new linebackers, draft capital spent in the O line this year, and a big trade for DJ Moore to give Justin Fields a weapon.
Exactly. Yeah.
Kmet,
Komet is a
solid.
beast, bro.
Fantasy wise, he's overplayed what a lot of people expected from him this year.
Right.
I haven't broken down any of his film. I hope he's doing great.
There's some pizza for you.
Okay.
One of those red banners.
Okay.
Yeah, it's already sliced and cooked. Can I bring you some?
No, I'm fine.
Huh?
I'm fine.
All right.
Anyway,
It looks like the interior of the O line's playing better. Getting Tevin Jenkins and getting Nate Davis back, that's helped out a ton. Davis was out for a little bit with personal issues. What's been the issue in Chicago?
I would say Justin Fields, but some of it's not even. It's the coaching to me. Some of the coaching is just trash, and they did fire that one. It was their offensive coordinator, right? Who got
I
caught on some charges.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that was. That was something weird, but firing personnel like that mid-season probably doesn't help.
Right.
Um,
There's actually one more team I want to put in tanking. The Patriots.
yeah, we can probably close out the Bears by just saying what did we expect? They won 2 games last year, ended on a 14-game losing streak. They weren't going to turn it all around. They weren't going to turn it all around this year.
Right.
Maybe the most we should have expected from them was probably 7-9. That would have been a great result.
Right.
But Packers and Patriots. Maybe we can do both these teams at the same time because we've got two teams that are not used to being here.
That is 100% true. There used to be, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers always going to the playoffs every year, always being successful. But now they're at bottom tier.
And I wonder because the issue in Green Bay, to my knowledge, does not have a first round pick this year
Is that true?
because of the Aaron Rodgers deal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I think there was a stipulation in the trade that if Rodgers played less than 65% of snaps, you would see Green Bay voiding their first round pick this year to the Jets. And if the Packers are going to keep circling the drain, like it looks like they will be, that could be a lottery pick.
Right. And with the Patriots, obviously, Bill Belichick is in the hot seat right now. Mac Jones isn't performing as he should. The run game is honestly being trash. Ramondre, he's been quietly decent. Zeke has also been decent, but their O line is absolutely horrendous, in my knowledge.
I mean, they've got one of the most expensive O lines in the league. It's been a long time since I've seen a bad Patriots O line. Ikem Ekwonu's been dealing with a few things. I don't know if they were healthy. No, not Ikem Ekwonu. Forgot his name, the left tackle for the Patriots, and then Trent Brown. I think he was dealing with injury or personal stuff. But yeah, this is the first time in a while their offensive line hasn't been one of the better units in the NFL.
Right.
I mean, I'll say this: they're not firing Belichick.
I don't think they should, because didn't he just sign an extension?
Yeah, they're not going to fire him like that. I mean, 20-something odd good years, one bad year. You're probably not going to fire a guy from that. But
Right.
I think I think there's going to be a new general manager brought in. Because if you look at Patriots draft picks since about the Rob Gronkowski draft,
Uh-huh.
there's not many players that the Patriots draft and hit on.
True.
I'm going to pull something up here.
Here, if
I
you
mean,
want
if
to
we
share your
thought
screen,
Jets,
you can.
I mean, if we thought that Jets drafting was bad, I mean, we can go right here. We can look at previous drafts by the New England Patriots.
Right.
We're not going to do guys within the last 3 years. They've already. I mean, I'm willing to give them time. Mac Jones, I'll give him time. All right, I'll give him time. You go here. Let's start in 2010. That'll be easier. So you're looking. Yeah, I'm looking for the Gronkowski draft. Here we go. 2010.
Dang,
Solid
dude,
pick
they drafted him all the way back
73.
in 2010?
Yep. And it's going to be a lot, but
And Devin McCourty in the same draft?
yeah, I mean, you can see they had about, if you go by weighted adjusted value, they got about 1, 2, 3. They got 4 solid players from this draft.
Right.
Then you go by weighted adjusted value, you move on to the next one. Solid starter in Marcus Cannon, solid player in Stephen Ridley, solid player in Shane Vereen. Nate Solder, great player before he went to the Giants. Not since Chandler Jones, great player, but they may have traded him early.
Didn't he go to the Cardinals?
Yeah, he was traded to the Cardinals in I think a second round pick.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of his career production came with the Cardinals too. Some of his best years. Donta Hightower, solid pick. Starting to teeter off. You don't really get solid starters in this draft past rounds 1 and 2.
Mm.
You get another 3 solid starters, 2013. I mean, in a draft, you want to try to get about hopefully a star and hopefully another 3 solid starters if you have 7 picks.
Literally, the
Maybe.
Patriots this season have been like trash, dude.
So we can see, I mean, you're getting solid players in these drafts, but if you move up to a few recent years, no clue where all their picks went here. And you add a lot of solid talent in drafts like 2016, but not a lot of the talent stayed in the team. Even in the years where they drafted well, not a lot of these guys stayed with the team.
Uh huh.
You add guys like Garoppolo, he played solid, but he was sent off. Like I mentioned before, Chandler Jones, solid player, but he was sent off. Logan Thomas was sent off after about 4 years. Tooney was traded to the Chiefs. Brissett sent off after a few years. Let's see, move up to 2018. Isaiah Wynn, that ended up being a bust of a pick. Sony Michel, everyone knows they drafted him over Nick Chubb. Juwan Bentley, a few solid years. Barrios, solid. You can't get too much with a 6th-round pick. But you're starting to see drafts where there's just whiff after whiff after whiff in Keel Harry, Joshuan Williams, Chase Winovich. I mean, these are guys that are putting up a weighted adjusted value of less than 20 in the 4 or 5 years they've been in the league, and for solid starters, those guys get between like 5 solid starters, depending on position, will get between 4 and 10 a year.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move on to the should be
Yeah,
tanking tier.
Yep.
At
Oh, geez.
bottom, Cardinals, obviously. They should be tanking, but somehow they're competitive in every game they play. Next,
I would say, I'll say this though. The fact that they started Clayton Tune last week,
that was just disrespectful.
I want to put them in the tanking tier, but the fact that they're throwing Kyler Murray out there,
Right.
I don't. Because if you're tanking,
It's hard.
they want to see what I mean. If they, it's hard because maybe they've got no incentive to try to win. They've got Houston's pick this year, and they've got their own pick this year. Yeah, the decision to start Kyler Murray, maybe up his trade value, maybe give Kyler Murray a last shot about is this the guy you want in the future?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, should be tanking. Who are you thinking of next?
Next, the Rams. They just lost Matt Stafford. I don't even know how long he's going to be out, but they just signed Carson Wentz, who's not much better. Let's be honest.
So I think I found a discrepancy between tanking and should be tanking teams. With our should be tanking teams, that's probably going to include the Rams, the Broncos.
Yes, here we're going to put them up.
These are teams that have sold off a lot of draft capital.
Right.
Even if they tanked, they would not get solid players in return for tanking. All they can do is just try to be competitive.
Now, to be honest, I think that's all of the should be tanking teams. Because after that, there's not really that many bad teams.
I'm going to put the Washington.
No, you can't say the Commanders because they're 4-4.
I'm going to hold off on Washington.
I think they belong in the mid category.
The reason why I want to put Washington in should be tanking categories, partially down in their division. They are not getting in the playoffs, but that is a murderer's row of a division,
Right.
except for the Giants.
Yeah, they can
Most
sweep the
of them-
Giants. Oh wait, no, they lost to the Giants.
So I mean, if the Giants were decent, then they should be tanking. But they still have their draft pick, and I don't know. They have their draft picks, so if they tanked, that would be fine. Maybe the new owner
Right.
wants to put a different culture in place. Maybe he wants to be competitive this year. I don't know, but
Yeah.
all I can say is they have their draft picks, and it's up to whatever their GM or team feels like they need to do.
All right. Couple more teams I want to put in here. There's a lot of teams that are just mid this year. The Jets. The
I would
Raiders
put the
almost go
Raiders
into
in
should be
team.
tanking league.
Yeah, because they have another rough division.
They go in
They're-
there, honestly.
They have the same problem the Commanders do. Their division isn't quite hard enough to where they're going to guarantee lose 6 games,
Right.
but they should be tanking.
They
The
should
amount
be.
of holes on that roster, and I still think the Commanders should be tanking. That O line is in desperate need of repair.
Dude,
and if you want a guy
Sam
like,
Howell is the most sacked quarterback and has already surpassed 40 sacks this year. That is ridiculous. Absolutely
mean,
ridiculous.
yeah, if they really want a guy like, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Olufashanu or Joe Alt.
If you got that right, I'm gonna be so proud of you.
Thank you so much. There's other tackle prospects this year. Depends on who they like, who they don't like. But all I'll say is that Commanders O-line is the priority this offseason.
Oh,
And
absolutely. Protecting Sam
don't know.
Howell.
Raiders, the goal this offseason is draft
Get
someone who's
everything.
not going to be arrested within 3 years.
Yeah. All right. Up next,
We can put the Falcons.
Yeah,
put
the Falcons.
in there.
the Falcons and the Chargers, and the Titans.
Mm.
And the Titans are in that line though.
Let's hold
But they
off-
just
let's
got
hold
Will
off on the Titans
Levis.
and the Chargers. Let's hold off on the Titans and the Chargers because I think there's worse teams here.
Yeah, but that's hard though. Do you want to put the Chargers in solid?
Let's wait on the Chargers for a minute because I still see worse teams here.
Okay.
If I'm looking at who I think is a worse roster, I'm gonna put the Texans in mid
Mm,
because when you
I don't know.
CJ Stroud is good, but it's not.
It's
year
their
yet.
my problem
Not-
is their defense.
They need to wait and let their talent keep developing. Look, they're
I
probably
would
gonna be
put
like-
them at top of mid though.
They're probably going to be a solid 7-10 this year, maybe 8-9.
So
But
do we?
I still
Like
think
where
they're
the
worse
Giants
than the
are?
Chargers.
Where the Giants are? Do we want to put them at top of tanking or bottom of tanking? Like as an example.
We'll probably come back. Like once we grade the
Yeah,
team,
let's come back.
to
We'll
that.
come back to it. We'll come back to it.
I say right now we can put both.
Here, we'll slide in the Texans.
We can put the Buccaneers there.
Yeah, the
too.
Bucks
I
is
think
that
they're-
as
they're
well.
at- They're at the same level, really. The difference is just the Bucks are more a roster held together with duct tape than a roster with blooming and developing young talent.
Exactly.
Let's
I would
go to the
also put
Titans
the
real quick.
Titans there.
But yeah,
I would put the
Mhm.
Titans. They're not in tanking tier, like should be tanking anymore because Will Levis.
that
They-
we should be tanking. I would put the Titans in should be tanking.
I don't know though, because they might come. Will Levis could change everything.
I want to see Will Levis playing well but losing games. I don't hate Will Levis. I just really want a top tackle this year. And for Will Levis's own good, he needs a top tackle. So I'll say should be tanking.
So with our differences, we can put the Titans at bottom of mid.
Yeah, Titans are probably one of those low mid / should be tanking teams. We can put the Steelers in mid too. I'm not putting the Steelers in solid with that O line, with that leaky secondary. Shoot, we can get Keegan a call, and he can probably give us a 30-minute rant on everything wrong with the Steelers this year.
That's 100% true. However, the Steelers' defense, their defensive line is so good, but
Yeah,
their
the
secondary is just poor.
The development of look, the edge rush, then their booming edge rusher. What's his name? Number 56.
You got Finka Fitzpatrick, Highsmith,
Highsmith. That's his
yeah,
name.
Highsmith and T.J. Watt.
Joey Porter Jr. has had a solid year. It's just been like leaky linebacker play and a bad O line. For like the third straight year, it's a bad O line. Honestly, it could have been a good O line, but they decided Kevin Dotson was not the guy. And if you believe PFF, Kevin Dotson is the best guard in football right now.
I think also in mid tier, the Colts. I think
Yeah, I put the Colts and the Texans in the same. I'd consider them in the same way.
right.
Let me double check who we have here right now. We need to start differentiating between solid. I think we can put.
I think we can put the Vikings in solid.
I think we can put the Steelers, the Saints, and the Vikings in solid.
You want to put the Steelers in solid?
Yeah, I'll put the Steelers in solid.
All right,
because
Steelers.
They're winning games. They have high-end talent on the roster. Pickett can play decent. Najee and Warren can get some running game going. They have good wide receivers. They're probably hoping for stuff when Freiermuth comes back from IR.
Mm-hmm.
But they've got a winning record. I kind of have to put them in solid. You look at these teams in mid and
also in solid. I think the Chargers and the Seahawks.
Looking at this list again, I'd like to put the Jets in solid too.
You want to put the Jets in? That's a little high for them though.
Because if I'm using the same logic I'm using with the Steelers, where they have talented skill positions, a solid defense, and a terrible O line.
I'm basing it off their record right now.
Because the Jets are still 500.
They still are?
Yeah.
Are they actually?
Yeah. No, I didn't believe it at first. I thought they would be like 3-5.
Wait, are they 4-4?
Yeah, 4-4. So I mean,
but I don't. I'd say the Jets should go top of mid or bottom solid.
It's tight, but I would.
It's very tight.
I think the Jets are similar to the Steelers. That's why I'm putting the Jets in solid. Because
all right, for your sake, I'll put them at bottom of solid.
They win ugly, but they can win. It's very different than teams like the Seahawks, Saints, and Chargers that are just underperforming, and teams like the Vikings who are just injured.
All right.
What do we do about Buffalo?
That was actually what I was going to ask next. I don't know. If they lose to the Broncos on Monday, in my mind, they're going to go down tremendously.
For right now, I'll say they're contender.
They are bottom of contenders.
Well, no, they're the definition of contenders.
They can be, but their defense is because of all the injuries. Their defense is bad.
So yeah, let's put them in contenders. Question mark.
And also, where do we put the Browns?
Browns win ugly.
Like the Browns' defense is arguably the best in the league, but their offense is under average.
This is also a Nick Chubb-less Browns. I'd put the Browns in the solid tier.
Yeah, solid.
Until Deshaun Watson improving and throw for more than 200 yards in a game.
Right. Up next, Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Simple.
Yep, Jacksonville is that sort of thing.
Yeah, I got nothing to say on them. They've just been great this whole year.
Dallas too.
Yeah, Dallas. Ooh, Dallas. Yeah, Dallas. The Niners. The Niners are no longer in juggernaut tier for me.
Okay, let's start slow here. Let's break down the Jaguars so we don't go too quick.
Right.
They're developing. talent they
Obviously.
drafted in the last few years is finally proving itself.
Right.
Lawrence looks decent when they get Zay Jones back from injury, and when Calvin Ridley.
How long is Zay Jones out, by the way? Do we
I don't
know?
know. He's been out with things all year.
Like,
But
because
I'd
I know
say
he's been injured since like week 2.
when they get Zay Jones back, when the O line gets a little more chemistry together, I think their left tackle was suspended until about week 6 or week 7. Same situation with Jameson Williams taking
Right.
sports betting or something. And if Calvin Ridley stops taking the under on all of the Jaguars games, then I think they're a solid contenders with a question mark.
Yes. Dallas,
Not,
they're always contenders.
the Niners, though, I'm
You can't put them in juggernaut. They've lost 3 straight.
I'm not going to say anything, but right now I can say that Miami belongs in contenders. With a
Yes,
question
I
mark.
was also going to put them in contenders. They haven't beaten a good team, but they're playing great ball.
Yeah, great offense. I'd like to see a little more proving themselves. They'll get a solid opportunity against the Jets and the Bills coming up.
And to finish out contenders, I think the Bengals.
Yeah,
And to be honest, I think the rest of these teams are juggernauts. To be quite honest.
The only thing I'll say is I'm buying into the stereotype, and I put Lions in contenders with a question mark just because it's funny.
Yeah, but they other than their loss to the Ravens, which is pretty ugly, they've been dominant. Besides that one OT loss to the Seahawks, so yeah, they've lost twice. But
the Lions play the Eagles.
Do they play them? I don't think they do.
Did they play them?
I don't think they have this year.
I just got to check.
Yeah, check real quick.
Because if they lost to the Eagles, then
no, they lost to the Seahawks and the Ravens.
I mean, they lost a good team. They lost to talented teams, and they. I don't know. I don't. Because we can put the Ravens in juggernaut here because of how dominant they've been the last few weeks,
right?
While being injured. I would put the Lions in contenders, mostly because it's funny, but secondly, just because I don't.
I'll put them at top of contender.
Yeah, I'd have them above the Bengals. I'd have the Niners at. I'd have them in juggernauts. I need to explain this.
I disagree.
I know.
I disagree.
Not many of their injuries are season-long injuries. They haven't lost guys for the entire year. Think about how dominant this team was before they had a little bit of the injury bug. They're going to get guys back like Deebo Samuel. They're going to get guys back like Trent Williams. Purdy's going to be back in the same situation he was in. And they're going to get Christian McCaffrey back fully healthy off a bye week.
Right.
And this team really needed their bye week this year. No one's really out for the year. And, they just drafted Chase. They just traded for Chase Young.
All right, to appease you, we'll put them at top of contender.
All right. Well, we'll just say we need to see them get back to where they were when everyone's back from injury. That's the condition. We'll need to see how they play this week.
Right.
All right, let's look through this list.
So do we want the Giants to represent bottom tier, like where they are currently on the board? Is this going to be bottom or top?
I think with the Giants is down to Daniel Jones is out for the year, Darren Waller's on IR, and Darren Waller might just take the year off. I mean, there's no incentive for him to come back.
I was asking for the list itself. I'm not asking about the team. That's what I'm. Where they are right now on this list, like right here where my mouse is. Is this going to be bottom or is this top?
Oh,
that's what I was asking.
Where you're pointing now is top.
All right, so I think this is a correct tanking list.
I think the Giants, they're playing like the worst team in football right now. When your only win. Do they have 2 wins?
They have 1. Wait, no, they have 2. They have 2.
I mean, who they?
They beat the Cardinals and the Commanders.
That is not an inspiring list.
And then I think
remember
the should be tanking list is correct.
that was an ugly Commanders win. And I feel bad for Saquon because they're going to run him into the ground for the rest of the year trying to be decent. It's just ugly in New York. It's rough.
All right.
It should be tanking. I want to put the Titans in should be tanking.
Oh, we were gonna put them at the top of it, right? So yeah, they're at the top.
Are they at the top?
Who?
Yeah, I would. Ooh, would I take the? All right, we'll just leave them there. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So are the Commanders are better than the Falcons?
Are they?
Yeah, they played them and they beat them.
Are they though?
But they beat them though.
They still play each other again.
No, they don't. They're not in the same division.
Here's what I'll say: the Commanders are actively selling assets, and look, that's what I think that because they're selling assets, they're very much telling that they're not trying to compete this year.
I also think the Texans are above the Buccaneers, but I don't think they're above the Colts.
I would say they're negligibly different, but that's fair.
Because they just played each other and Texas won.
You can't always go by that, but yeah, they're really close with one another.
Solid. Were you gonna say something?
I would take the Jets over I would take the Jets and the Vikings over the Steelers.
So you want to put Steelers at bottom of solid?
Yep.
But would you take the Vikings over the Jets?
That is a very tough question. I would take the Vikings over the Jets, though. I would take them.
All right, now the question is, would you take the Vikings over the Saints?
It depends week to week, but I know the Saints have more talent on their roster, and they've at least got a.
I think the Saints do have a better team overall.
Yeah, definitely a better running back. Every Alexander Madison fantasy owner knows that one.
Yup, because you have him. Oh wait, no, you don't. You have Grayson has him.
Yeah,
Grayson has him. That's right. All right. I think the rest of solid's good though.
That works.
All right,
contenders.
I think this works.
So
maybe Dallas above Miami.
Peyton just added Zach Charbonnet.
I saw that.
Did you watch the same fantasy football guy I was watching? Because or is he just taking bets that like Kenneth Walker's going to get hurt and he can sub him in? Either way, imagine having Kenneth Walker and Puka Nacua on your fantasy team right now. Literally the two guys.
That is true.
The two guys that just have no trade value, nothing, just nothing at all right now.
Real quick with the Juggernaut tier list, I actually think the Ravens are above the Chiefs.
That's fair.
I think the Ravens and the Eagles are the best teams in football.
I would very much like to see a Ravens-Eagles Super Bowl.
I actually wouldn't mind that. That would actually be a really good Super Bowl.
I would totally watch that, and that sounds like a great game.
All right, with that in mind, I think that's everything with power rankings. Let's move on to this week's matchups.
All right.
All right, we gotta hurry. We've got like 15 minutes. So let's try to speed this.
I think it's 45 minutes.
We've been recording for 40 minutes. Or 38 minutes.
All right.
So we've got about 20 minutes. All right. You can see my screen, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right, tonight's game. The Panthers versus the Chicago Bears. Who do you got?
Here, I've got you know what I've got?
What do you got?
I have a coin.
You have a coin. I love this guy.
I have a what is it? I've got a 1 cent penny.
That's a great representation of those teams.
Yeah. Yeah, 1 cent penny.
I wish we had air to
from
flip.
2021.
Here,
Let's
heads for Bears, tails for Panthers.
All right. All right. We've got heads.
So do you think the Bears got it?
Well, the coin says the Bears have it.
So what do you
So
say?
I'm gonna believe in the coin. I'll
So
take
you're taking the Bears?
Let's see.
What's
what
your
do you
score
think the
prediction?
score? I'm gonna say I'm calling an ugly one.
You're calling an ugly one?
I think it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be not even many field goals. I think it's gonna be a lot of 3 and outs and a lot of punting.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say 13. I'm gonna say 13-14. I'm gonna say it's 13-7 in the fourth quarter, and the Bears make a last minute. They make a 2-minute drill drive to the end zone and score it on a DJ Moore catch
Sick.
and kick the field goal to win the game. 13-14. That's my score.
All right. I've also got the Bears. I think they're just slightly, like ever so, like 0.1% the better team, and I think it's also going to be a very ugly game. I think I've got the Bears to win 17-14.
So right now, Vegas has the game at. Let's see, we've got.
Oh, Ben just added Devin Singletary.
Oh, that's exciting. Let's see. What does DraftKings have this game at?
Of course, you're looking at DraftKings.
Has this game at a 3.5-point spread in favor of the Bears.
Okay, that's not terrible. That's around the ballpark where we thought they would be.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I read that wrong. In favor of the Panthers.
They're in favor of the Panthers. Okay.
Am I blind? No. It's in favor of the Bears. It's in favor of the Bears. I read that wrong.
I'm like, that should not be correct.
Our over-under is 38 for tonight. So
that's way too high, in my opinion.
I was about to say my personal over-under was 13-14. That puts it at
27.
It's not that far off. I mean, throw in if this becomes a field goal game.
Absolutely.
I can totally imagine this being a 19-16 game. And maybe like you have one last touchdown and it goes 24-19. I can imagine that.
Okay. All right, next game. We've got here, let me get the list out. That's the same list.
Yeah. I'll go through these ones a lot quicker.
All right, Colts, Patriots. This is in Germany. I got the Colts winning like 30-14.
I've got the Colts winning about 27-17.
I think the Colts are gonna. I wouldn't say destroy the Patriots, but they're gonna do pretty good against them.
Yep, I'm just gonna try to scroll. Yeah, I'm just gonna scroll through these Vegas odds so people can see while we go through them, make our bets.
Here, I want to see if I can get both of our things on the screen. Here, let's see. Stop watching. Yeah, there we go. I clicked. There we go.
All right. Nice. All right, so yeah, I'll just have these up just in case.
All right.
Next game, Cleveland Browns, Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to take Baltimore. I don't think this one's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I also take Baltimore as well.
This could be a Baltimore loss. I can totally see that happening.
I can also see that because of Cleveland's defense. Cleveland's defense is really good, but the last time they played in Cleveland, the Ravens clapped them.
I'm going to say final score 27-21. I don't think this will actually be a defensive showcase. Why? Because that sounds like fun, and I just got a gut feeling.
I think this is going to be a very ugly game. I'm going to be 100%. I think it's going to be very ugly, but I somehow see it passing the 20s, so I think Baltimore wins 24-21.
It's a rivalry game. It's going to be weird.
Yeah.
But next
Here, let me get rid of.
Houston Texans, Cincinnati Bengals. I think Houston's gonna get slapped back to earth. Why? No
I
reason.
don't know.
You're buying in on the Houston, right?
I'm not buying on them. I think the Bengals will win, but I think it's going to be a very competitive game.
Because you were liking Houston a lot earlier. Like you wanted to put them in the straight solid category. So what's
I'm
your
high
theory,
on them, but I
Houston?
don't think they'll beat the Bengals. I don't think they will.
All right, that's fair. I'll take Bengals 34, Houston 21.
I think it's going to be a very competitive game. I think it's going to also be a high scoring game, so I got the Bengals winning like 35-27 maybe. That sounds
We got
reasonable.
San Fran and Jacksonville next. I'm just going to take San Fran. I think this is going to be a curb stomping. Final score 30-13.
I disagree. I got the Jags winning 27-20.
All right, we'll look back at the film and see who ends up getting that one, right? All right, Saints and Vikings.
Josh Dobbs is the GOAT, therefore Vikings win.
I'm taking Saints. Final score 27-14.
I got Vikings. No, because that's hard though. Because the Saints have a great defense, but some of their offensive components are just off, which is mainly the receivers, right?
Yeah, but it's not like they lack talent at receiver.
Exactly. They don't lack the talent. It's just not being put together.
My other bet, I'm going to bet, what is it? No catches, 2 targets, no yards for Rashid Shaheed. I don't hate Rashid Shaheed. It's just, honestly, there's an equal chance of him getting 2 catches, 120 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Right.
Packers and Steelers.
Oh wait, hold on. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I think honestly, this could be a game where it's a tie. I'm gonna be honest with you. With the Vikings and Saints.
That is a really high over under.
On what?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not that high.
On what? I can't see it.
Oh,
41?
The over under is 39 for that game.
Oh, for this. Okay, I see it.
I'm gonna take Packers 20-13.
Nah, dude, I got the Steelers. The Packers' offense is absolutely dreadful.
I'm gonna trust in the Packers. I'm gonna trust in them.
I got Steelers winning. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. I think it will surprisingly be competitive, but I got the Steelers winning like 20-17.
All right, Texans and Bucks.
No, that's the Titans.
Oh, again, this is the third time that I haven't been able to read. I should probably get that tested.
If Will Levis can play to the level that he's been playing for the past 2 weeks, what are you doing?
Oh wait,
just like, bro, go back. Bro, no, dude, what are you doing?
Here, I'll scroll through these in a different tab.
Okay, no, here, I'll just show my screen. Here, it's fine. I'll just show my screen.
Yeah, here we go. It's back. I'm back.
Okay.
That's the wrong week.
Okay, you had me going there for a second, bro. Bro, my camera is so bad you can't even see my face because this light is so bright.
Late talking, learning new words slowly, problems forming words correctly.
Dude, bro, you're too much.
Is this why I can't remember people's names?
What?
Is this why I can't remember people's names?
I mean, to be fair, the tism, right? Anyway, we're back. We're off track. Let's get back to football.
Tune in for the next episode to find out if I have dyslexia or not.
Yes, next week Definitely. All right, Titans Bucks. If Will Levis can play to the degree that he's been playing for the past 2 weeks, I think the Titans will win. However, if he struggles, the Titans will lose.
I'm all in. I'm all in on the Will Levis hype.
I got the
And,
Titans.
in particular, I'm calling 300 yards and 2 touchdowns for Will Levis.
I got the Titans winning 27-24. Actually, no,
Honestly,
27-17.
Honestly, I'm willing to put on record Will Levis reminds me of a rookie year Joe Burrow.
Oh my God, this again. No, he is not Joe Burrow because Joe Burrow
not
tore his
Joe Burrow, he's
ACL in his rookie year.
He's not Joe Burrow, but the amount of quarterbacks that sit that poised in the pocket and are 24 years old as a rookie are very slim. Mostly because the 24-year-old is a rookie thing, but still. I'm basically using the logic where you see any 7-footer and you see that, oh, that reminds me of Dikembe Mutombo.
All right, next game we got Lions Chargers. I got Lions. But I think it's going to be a high scoring game.
I'm taking Chargers 33-30. Big scoring.
I got the Lions winning 36-33.
Yeah, that's fair.
Is that cookie good?
No, it's cracker.
That was a cracker? Is that a Ritz?
No, it's like a saltine cracker. I put sharp cheddar cheese on.
Oh, okay. That's cool. Anyway, next game. Falcons Cardinals. Now, this is a very interesting game because Kyler Murray comes back. It's very interesting.
I'm taking the Falcons. Bijan's going to boom this game about 20 carries,
Bijan.
20 yards,
Bijan.
and 2 touchdowns.
You think your prime running back in your fantasy league is gonna?
No, I think that because Bijan's on my bench. That's why I think that's gonna happen. And I think he's gonna flop next week.
I got the Falcons 24. No, because they struggle to get in the end zone. They kick a lot of field goals. Young Koo, the GOAT. Falcons win 20-14.
Maybe they'd struggle less in the end zone if they gave Bijan the rock. Don't tell Arthur Smith to go back to working for his dad at FedEx.
Hey. All right. Next up, we got the Giants at the Cowboys. Yeah.
I'm taking
Cowboys win. Cowboys win 45-0.
I'll be a little more generous, 28-10.
No, I don't think it's going to be close at all. I think Danny DeVito's long lost son is garbage.
I think the game is going to open 17-0 though.
I think the Cowboys. Isn't it at Dallas or is it at the Giants?
At Dallas.
Oh, it's at Dallas. Yeah, they're it's over. Yeah, the Cowboys are gonna America's team. The boys are gonna absolutely destroy them. Commanders Seahawks. This is a very intriguing game.
I'm taking Seahawks 28-21.
Yeah, that's a fair score. I'll actually go the same. Yeah.
In favor of the Seahawks or in favor of the Commanders?
The Seahawks.
All
right, Jets Raiders. That's
a like 13-16 game.
I think it's gonna be a very low scoring game.
I'll take I'll just say it. I'll take 13-16 in favor of the Jets.
All right.
I'm gonna be honest. An over under of 37.
That's pretty fair.
I hope that's the lowest of the week.
I think it is.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's the game that I'd say that's got to be your lowest scoring of the week if you're a betting man.
All right, so I'm also gonna pick the Jets to win. I think it'll be a little higher. I think it's gonna be 20-13. And then with Broncos Bills, I'm actually gonna pick the Broncos.
I'm not a betting man, but if I was a betting man, I would take the under on this one.
On the Jets Raiders.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. Yeah.
A bad Jets O-line against Max Crosby, and a bad Raiders O-line against a Jets D-line. Yeah, I'll take that.
All right.
Broncos and Bills, same situation with the Cowboys and Giants. It's like a freaking older brother just pounding on their younger brother when they're playing tackle football outside.
I actually disagree.
Oh, okay.
I got the Broncos.
Oh,
Yeah, they're on a 2-win streak, and they just came off their bye.
I think Buffalo's desperate, so I'm gonna predict 350 yards and 5 total touchdowns for Josh Allen.
I think, however, it's in Buffalo, and Buffalo hasn't lost in Orchard Park, so I would not be surprised if Buffalo won. But I'm going with my underdog of the week, the Broncos, to win a very low-scoring game of 17-16.
Oh, can we put a same game parlay on that?
I don't think brother, we're not. Wait, are you 18 or are you 17? Wait, you can't
Basically,
even gamble. You're not 21. Wait, or can you?
oh
No, that's
yes,
lottery. Lottery, you
no,
can do 18.
something, something, something. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800 something, 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 something. Do not participate in underage gambling if you're under the age of 21. Something, something, something. Also take Arsenal, or actually take
No,
Luton
no,
Town
no,
over Manchester
no.
United. Manchester United looks completely awful this year. Please I would take Luton Town. That would not even be a big upset. I'm also taking Chelsea over Man City. Why? Because I like Chelsea right now. No one said that in 2 years, but
All right.
speaking of that, Trinity, who do you have
Between
in
what?
the what is it? What's next UFC?
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Yeah, November 11th. I don't know what UFC they're on, but
It's
we're going to the
295.
main card. We're going to the main card. I
Let's
cannot
yeah,
pronounce
yeah.
that.
Actually, let's go down this road. Yes. I got
Um,
Alex Pereira winning by round 2
can we
by
bet on?
KO.
Are you allowed to bet on that?
I'm willing to
Okay,
bet on that.
All right, you're taking the. You're taking 8.5 to 1 odds on that.
And then
I
with
mean,
the
that's not a bad bet. Oh wait, no, that's Yudi. How do you say his last name?
Prohaska.
Prohaska. Okay. Yuri Prohaska. Yeah. Okay. You're taking 6.5 to 1 odds Pereira to win by. It's win by round 2.
Yeah.
All right. Is this the fight that determines like who gets the privilege to fight Sean Strickland for the middle? No, this is
No,
middleweight.
that's light heavyweight.
Okay, yeah. Which one's the fight that basically like the winner of that fight gets the privilege to fight Sean Strickland?
There's not one because Sean's already fighting someone in next year.
Oh, okay, okay.
But here, go to the co-main event.
Sergey Pavlovich and Tom Aspinall.
I got Tom Aspinall winning round 1 KO.
All right. Someone's taking that at 2.5 to 1 odds. Better than last time.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Whoa.
One more. Here, let's see. How long have we been? All right, it's been 58 minutes, so we're gonna do this quick. We got about a minute left. All right, top 3 players, 1 to bench, 1 to start, 1 you could start. Go for fantasy.
1 second. I'm just gonna go right here. Let me find a list of player ratings. I'm good. All right. I don't think we have time to do super flex. We're just gonna do with full PPR format. Is this right?
Yeah,
Dynasty.
I think that's right. Yeah, that's right.
Dynasty. Yep. Does this allow me to select super what is it, PPR, half PPR, no PPR, or super flex?
I don't know. I have no idea. I've never used that.
All right. Let's just scroll through these. McCaffrey. Hot, but he could get injured, but you can say that about any running back.
So that's your starter for the week with Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, we'll just ignore the guys that are out this week. McCaffrey's got to be a total start this week, even though it's not saying much.
All right, who's your bench?
Yeah, actually, you know what? Give me a second. I'm gonna scroll down a little. I want to find some guys that are actually pretty controversial.
I would say. Who would you want to start? Ooh, well, that's actually very intriguing because there are some people that could go off this week and some people who could flop this week. So with starting, I want to say start. Who's the most obvious?
Yeah, I don't think we have enough data to do fantasy right now.
We
Because
don't.
have
I
no
don't think we have enough. So with
Yeah.
here, we'll just do one to bench instead. So with bench, I got Zay Flowers. Lamar doesn't throw to him. Who do you got?
Player on our team that we want to bench or start.
Yeah, who do you want to? One guy you want to bench?
Yeah, I've got an idea. Let's do a guy on our team. You've
All
got to
right, we'll do
choose
a
a
guy on our team.
player. You've got to choose a player that you're high on and a player that you're starting to lose faith on.
A guy I'm high on, Dalton Schultz, bro. I'm very high on that guy. He did great. He was on my bench last week because I had David Njoku to start. He was a safer option. But Dalton Schultz, I'm high on him this week. So if he does great, great. If he flops, I'm dropping him. So with that in mind, my bench, Zay Flowers. I benched him this week. Lamar doesn't throw to him. Who do you got?
I mean, I'm still liking Zay Flowers, Dalton Schultz. I'm scared because of the amount of receiving options on that team. That could easily take away volume from him. When John Mechie comes back, it's going to be tough. When Robert Woods comes back, it's going to be tough. Honestly, I don't know how many guys on the Texans I like to start in the first place, considering when you get all 5 of those guys back. When you get Nico Collins, when you get Tank Dell, John Mechie, Brandon Cooks, and Dalton Schultz. I mean, I don't. That's a lot of. It's a lot of volume that needs to be met. And I don't know if really any of them are leagues ahead of the rest of the other.
Right. They're all mid.
Yeah. Okay, player who I'm high on my team. I'm high on Jonathan Taylor. Traded for him last week. I think he basically had 8 weeks of rest before coming back this year. He looked a bit sloppy when he first came back, but part of that might have been the fact that Zach Moss was averaging 5 yards a carry.
Right.
I'm going to say an O line that gets Zach Moss 5 yards a carry is one that I want to trust Jonathan Taylor behind.
Right.
And I like the fact that he had 8 weeks of rest, and I think he's going to be a really strong guy to have for the rest of the year.
Uh huh. Who's your bench?
I'm not high on. It's Bijan.
Bijan Robinson.
It's not even Bijan's fault.
It's not. It's Arthur Smith's fault, 100%.
Bijan is not. He hasn't had a single carry inside the 5-yard line the entire season. They'd rather give it to Tyler Algier. Bijan's had no target. He's had no catches.
Mm-hmm.
He's had only like 1 or 2 targets out of the backfield in the last 3 weeks. Even when you take the headache game out of the equation, it's still pretty ugly to look at. Not because of Bijan's play, it's just down to Arthur Smith starting Tyler Algier, who's currently at about a little over 3 yards a carry. Putting Tyler Algier in the red zone instead of Bijan Robinson, who's still averaging a healthy 5 yards a carry. Are they scared to break Bijan? Maybe. But, Arthur, you've got to make it to the playoffs before you can be worried about your players being too injured for the playoffs. Usually teams that make the playoffs every year do that, not teams who just think they can make the playoffs because they've got an easy division.
And you're gone.
No, it's just like,
okay.
I don't know what's up with Smith. I don't know what's up with this offense. I can't trust anyone in this offense week to week. And right now, Bijan's riding the bench.
All right. Well, on that note, that's going to do it for this episode of the Fellas Podcast. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed. Turn on those notifications and enjoy your weekly dosage of football. Thank you very much. Peace out, y'all. Dylan, you got anything?
Do not trust us with any advice. If you're gambling under the age of 21, then please consult a parent or trusted figure. If you're gambling over the age of 21, can you link us to a sponsor? I'd really like a DraftKings sponsor. Daddy needs a new iPad, and I think that's the perfect way to do it.
All right.
Yeah, that's all for me.
Peace out, y'all.